What's up, my people? Haven't brought you guys a video in a week. I've been on vacation getting my groove on. Something I suggest all you guys get out and do. Today, we're going to be talking about freaking holsters. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. You really shouldn't. I'm a trainer. I teach a lot of people a lot of different things about holsters. Today we're going to be talking about holster selection. Now, this is not going to be just for the everyday carrier. This is going to be geared more towards people who carry guns for a living. Alright? So my everyday carriers, you guys already know. You guys, I think we've talked about it before, about your concealment holsters inside the waistband. Everything we're going to be talking about today is outside the waistband, and also talking about carrying a gun underneath a jacket or some type of other like EP style or bodyguard style clothing, something where you would have to wear concealed for somebody else not to see your gun. And this, we're talking about somebody who carries a gun on a daily basis, or somebody who has a job that gives them the right to carry a gun on a daily basis. So it's security, police, if you do protection where you're allowed to carry a gun, or anything of that nature. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to run through the 3 levels, and I'm going to time myself drawing from all these levels. Today, I have my nifty Glock 17 that I haven't pulled out in a long time, but I've got Glock 17 Gen 4 that I'm going to be using to do all my drills today. The gun is safe. Alright, and I'm going to be drawing from all my holsters from an open position and from a concealed position to show you guys. So, stand by, here we go. Alright guys, here we go. First thing we're going to be discussing is our level 1. A level 1 holster is something that has 0 locks on it, okay? It's just a holster in itself, 0 locks. Basically, you can draw straight from that holster. It gives you no means of protection, but at the same time, this is a great option for somebody who's wearing a suit jacket, or somebody who's wearing a coat, who just needs a level of protection that is a little bit tight on their gun. What I have on here, you guys can see it, but this is like a this is an Uncle Mike's level 1 that is just squeezed down my gun, kind of similar to the Fobus, but it's just a little bit tighter, where it takes a little bit to get the gun out of the holster and snaps back down in. Okay? Great holster for, like I said, if you have the concealment needs. Alright? Where nobody's going to see your gun, therefore there shouldn't be any reason why they should be trying to snatch it out of your holster. These are not for open carry type people. If you wear these for open carry, it's not a very good decision. It's also not a very tactical decision, because once these people realize you have no locks on your gun and they want to come after you, it's a very simple grab. I know you guys are going to say, yeah, Mr. Turner, I'm a professional martial artist. I know all the moves. Yeah, don't allow a person to get in your space, but at the same time, things happen. So want to make sure that we are protected, not only up here in our mind, saying that nothing's going to happen, but through our equipment, saying that if my equipment protects me, I'm just added another layer of protection. So again, level 1 means 0 locks. It may have a retention on the gun pulling out, but it's not going to lock your gun in place. Okay, moving on to level 2. Level 2 is like your surplus, your Serpa holsters, your Black Hawk surplus. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, Black Hawk Serpa holsters that has 1 lock here. If I was to put my gun into it, this is a left-handed holster because I'm doing a lot of practicing with left hand now. You press and pull. Otherwise, the gun stays put. Okay? That's the Serpa. You also have the Safariland ALS type. Okay, where it has the 1 lock. And I don't know if I'm saying that exactly right. Let me just make sure I'm getting it right. It does not have the model number on the back of here. But it is like the SLS, ALS family. And like I said, I may not have that model number correct, but it'll be on the video description. Anyhow, this lock is here. It's where your thumb naturally comes over, slides that button back, and the gun pulls out. Okay, this is level 1. I'm sorry, level 2. Level 2 gives your holster or your gun one or more locks. The importance of having one or more locks is because bad guy can't just readily access your gun from your belt. And if you have good staked in material like this, it'll pretty much stay put on your belt. There are videos out there that show the Fobus holster, or Fobus, whatever it's called, somebody actually taking the gun and ripping it off the belt with the paddle still on the person's belt, okay, inside the person's waistband. Okay, these are a little more solid nails. They're not held up by rivets. They're held up by good nails. So good product is very important. Another one is a similar to a Safariland, but I think this is like a Chinese made. I just bought these for training. But this is similar to the hood on the Black Hawk and similar to the hood on the Safariland. Basically, gun goes in, hood goes around the back of the gun. Okay? This is also, excuse me, a level 2 because the hood straps behind the gun, but there's no other locks. Okay? So you have to press down and press hood forward to pull a gun out. Very simple. It comes right out with no other retention. Okay? Now, level 3, Mr. Stephen Turner accidentally left my level 3 holster at the office, which I use to show my duty stuff for my trainees. But imagine these two holsters, okay, with this lock here and the hood combined, and then you have level 3. Level 3 is a 2 or more locks. My suggestion for duty carry or open carry on duty is for you to have a level 2 or higher. And if you're going to wear a level 2, I suggested that level 2 comes with a hood protector right here in front of your other hood, or a hood protector in front of that lock. Okay, when I say hood, it's just like my hand wraps around, how you can't see it in the front. I mean, a person can't stick their hand in and get to your gun. Now, holsters are always ultimately your choice. When you buy a holster, back in the day, you bought a lot of leather, and you had to, every night, you have to let that gun sit in that leather and put some hot water on it, or do some other things to make sure that leather expanded around your gun, because you couldn't go on duty day 1. Nowadays, I can buy a holster from Safariland or Black Hawk or whoever else, Uncle Mike's or any other company, and I can go and hit the street day 1 and not have a problem getting my gun out. It's just the fact that you have to learn the locking system, the retention system. It's your job as an officer or whoever you are, when you buy a holster, go out there, make sure you are practicing. Okay, you're going to see me do a practice session with all these guns. I mean, excuse me, all the holsters. I'm not doing all of them. I'm going to do it with each level. And I'm also going to do it with my concealment vest on. So I'm going to show you guys how fast I can be, not only with level 1, level 2, and level 3. I'm going to show you guys how fast I can be. And I'm going to set my part time to 1.5 seconds. So I want to be just as fast in an open carry mode as I am in a concealment mode. So I'm going to let you guys see it on video. I'm going to test it out. Hope you guys have learned something out of that. My suggestion, level 2, level 3 holster. Obviously, I didn't go into a whole lot of detail. It's really not a whole lot of detail to go into. Level 1, no lock. Level 2 means 1 lock or 1 retention lock. And level 3 means 2 or more locks. Now, some other companies have come up with what they call level 4 retentions. Again, technically level 3 is the highest level of retention, but since they come out with level 4, they're just adding more locks to the device. And I want you guys to understand this. If you are going to go to that extreme to lock your gun down, you better go to that extreme of training how to get your gun out of it. Okay, I've seen it before, the level 4 holster that I want to say Safariland makes. I don't want to misname anything, but I believe Safariland makes one where it's a hood release from the top, the thumb button, and then this middle finger button here that pulls the gun out. So it has 3 locks plus a hood. Pretty nice holster. I can tell you right now that level 3 holsters prevented the female trooper that got punched by the black guy that had the daughter on the side of the highway with the van. I don't know if you guys remember. It was back in the days, probably either early 2000s or late 90s, where he punched her and knocked her out cold. He tried to get her gun out. Level 3 holster saved her. A more recent story was when the Brinks armored car driver got robbed at gunpoint, and those bad guys tried to get his gun out of his holster, and they couldn't get his gun out of his holster. Again, great level 3 retention holsters prevented the nonsense, and the armored car driver might even been a level 2, and them guys just didn't know how to work it. So retention holsters will save your life. Alright, if at all anything, it'll leave that gun in that holster, and it won't give the bad guy another gun to fight with. And again, back with the female trooper that got punched, chances are, or statistics were very high, and they believe very highly that that guy would have shot her had he got her gun out of the holster. But he didn't. He didn't have a weapon, so he just left with his daughter. He eventually ended up getting 60 years in jail. Anyhow, guys, I've been talking for 10 minutes. I'm going to do the part 2 on actually doing the draw drills. So, y'all stand by. Part 2 coming up.